Welcome back everyone, I'm Craven and this is Cold Steel 2. We are on the Courageous and we are about to revamp George's workstation so we can start making the touchy with the 4 Sumerian ore crystals that we've gathered from the shrines. But before that time is here, there is one thing I want to try before continuing. I want to try out some cryptids. I want to see, are we ready for it just yet? Or do we still need to wait longer? Because with Cold Steel 1 and the other Trails games, there's always one big gigantic dungeon at the end of it, which we haven't seen yet. And I don't think Thor's is gonna be exactly that. So I think we'll have plenty of time still to do the cryptids. But I feel like if we are now able to do them, the rewards would be so much better than doing it in like a chapter or 2 or whatever. So for now, for today, before we continue on with the main story, let's try out some cryptids and see how we measure up. If we do manage to do some decent damage, then we're just gonna keep on trying one after the other. If at some point we see that they are just too strong, then we know that now is not the time for us to start fighting them. And I'm here just for a little bit of CP regeneration on Fee, because it's just a very little bit, so it doesn't take too long. And considering the evasion rate she had in the last fight we did against the bird of Vida, I think she did really well, so I want to use her at least as a starter to the first fight. So, the one I think that we need to try first, which I think is probably the easiest one, is gonna be the one we saw over at Guerrilla Fortress. Because that is the first one we saw, and we got an official text for it when we went there, indicating like these are the cryptids, you can encounter these. So I think these would technically be the one. If we can not defeat this one, the rest are not even an option. So whatever text we're gonna use, I'm still figuring out if we want to shield up with Emma, so we can protect ourselves against any magical attack, and then use the evasion rate of Fee to have at least one person alive at all times. If this doesn't work, we can always switch Fee for Uses, because you might have guessed it, he's here as well, so we can always have that as a backup, because he can then physically protect us while Emma protects us magically. So we got that covered from both sides. And I changed the build of Laura a little bit, so now she has like a Carnage build, meaning she has about 2700 points of strength, which is 800 points more than the one after her. Combine that with her double initial attack. Yeah, I've made her into even a greater beast than she was before this. So yeah, let's just try and see where we can get. Volglyph, seismic monstrosity.
This one's dangerous. Stay on your toes.
Oh, he's gonna start big. I think he did the exact same thing the last time we fought him. Let's see, can we survive it this time?
My turn.
Relatively speaking, yes, we can. Okay, so what do we want to do with this now? Elemental is mainly earth, fire. The other one, the mind one, isn't that great. Mm-hmm.
1, 2. Huh? And done. Got it. Let's get this over with.
Let's just see how much damage we can do in the first round. See how far we can get.
Here I go.
Okay. We have 2 overdrive.
Here I go. Overdrive.
That way we can recover some HP. And do some instant casting. Still 35,000.
Okay.
That's amazing. Okay, so we already have almost 60k down. Do we want to use her CP in order to do her Shadow Brigade, which is an amazingly powerful move? Yes, I think I want to. Or do we want to save that for later? Because he still has like CP recovery. Because I want to see if I can delay it as much as possible.
And done. Now. I'll back you up. Of course. Now.
My turn.
Okay, beautiful. So now we're gonna do the other side of it.
Overdrive!
Recovering our HP is mainly why we're doing this. And then Spirit Unification. Increasing his damage.
Let's move. Now's our chance!
An opening! Leave this to me.
And of course we're gonna do this.
Witness the fruits of my training.
I wonder what kind of damage we're gonna do this time. With the increase in strength, it should be significant. Wow, 100,000. Okay, so we're down by quite a bit. Keep working the delay.
Now!
An opening!
Of course.
Also increased damage because it's fire. Okay, so maybe just normal attacks to see if we can get her CP. Nope, still gonna get to 200. That's slightly sad.
Now!
An opening!
Now. Great stars in the heavens above.
Alright, Emma,
Answer to my
finish
voice
it.
And heed my call. Zodiac Rean.
Nicely done.
We should be safe now.
Defeated the cryptic Volklift. Received the Clear Moon Gem. What's this? Did that cryptid drop it? I wonder what it's for. My guess is it's an antique. The light radiating from it suggests that it contains significant power. Celine, could this be a relic from the Dark Ages? I was thinking that too, actually. It's the antique equivalent of a quartz. A quartz from the Dark Ages? Anything special to it? Well, they're supposed to allow you to use an ancient form of arts that involves 3 different elements. I suppose at this point you'd call them lost arts. I've heard about their existence from grandmother, but beyond that, nothing else. Well, that's about all I've heard too. Still, its wavelengths shouldn't be all that different from that of your Arcus quartz. Why don't you try putting it in one? It might not work, but it's worth a try. That's true, the size and shape are similar enough. Let's give it a go. That could work. About lost arts. The orb just obtained will allow you to use a kind of art called lost arts when set into an orbment. Lost arts are extremely powerful arts from the Dark Ages, with the orbs representing new elements not reflective of the 7 known elements. These arts can only be used when a character has maximum EP. They can only be cast once per battle, and once used, they will consume the caster's EP entirely. In addition to these non-standard elements, each orb has 3 standard elements. These indicate which elemental slot on a character's Arcus they can be set into. By setting special orbs into an orbment, you can use powerful lost art. Each orb has a unique, special element in addition to 3 standard elements. For example, Clear Moon Gem, the moon element is combined of fire, mirage and water. This one can only be set in fire, mirage or water fixed elemental slots. Lost arts can only be used when the character has maximum EP. Okay, I'm extremely curious. That's a slight understatement. And it looks like they are mainly magical in nature. Artemis Tears. Quartz containing a moon element of the Lost Ages. Okay, silver bells, clearly recognizable. All recovers 200% HP. Part of the recovery beyond the body's limits. But you cannot recover more than you've lost. So what's the point? It doesn't even give us extra stats or anything like that. And according to the list, it doesn't use our maximum EP, just 900 of it. Still, way too much. I want an offensive lost art, like a healing. I don't get it. Doesn't mean like if it heals ourselves, will we get double maximum HP? If that's the case, then yes, it would be extremely useful in a bind. But is that the case? Or will it just heal us maximum? I don't know. Okay, so we know of a couple of other cryptids, but I'm reckoning that each other one is a stronger version than the one before. So I don't know what the order is that we need to do them in, but we can just try the ones that we know. We know there is one in Lunaria Park, which I haven't seen, but we've heard the sounds. We know of one in the north with the stone pillars. I know of one on Eisengraf, wherever it is. Eisengraf, at least, with the mountain range outside of... yeah, that's what it is, Eisengraf range, that's what it is. Outside of Ymir. What else? Oh yeah, I was at the south of Roar, and I also saw a very big beast there. I don't know if it's a cryptid, but it did look like one. I think those are the ones that I know so far. So I have no idea how many of them there actually exist in the world, but those are the ones that I know of. So for now, I'm gonna recover all the things I need. I'm gonna go to Ymir to replenish my CP. And then I'm gonna fight in one of the shrines to recover our overdrives, because they have proven to be extremely valuable. One to recover our HP, another one to give us enough move to delay the enemy to a point that we can do some massive damage before it's allowed to do anything else. So yeah, so I will see you all in a little bit. Alright, we are now in the north after we did our prepping, so we should be ready for another monster. Well, as ready as we'll ever be. We'll only know if we're actually ready once we try to confront the monster. Because the previous one went actually pretty well, in all honesty. I wonder if all of them will go just as smoothly, but only one way to find out, and that's by actually doing it. So, just like I said, I recovered all our CP, our overdrive, and our teams are back in position. So, we're gonna try it the same way we did before and see if it works. And if it doesn't, but we still see a sliver of hope with our capabilities, then we can switch our team up with Emma and Juices and see if that works better. If it just looks like we are totally outclassed, then we'll come back at a later time. But for now, let's try it. Now read Dark Divinity.
Watch out! This is a tough one!
I know! We're gonna try it.
I'll handle it. 1, 2... Huh? And done.
Here I go!
Okay, and the resist is for what? That's the question, isn't it? Ooh, Awakener's Call can be used here. Not yet. Yeah, I first want to survive a round. I want to see what kind of damage we can actually do to it. A black cryptid from a higher plane crushes everything, including space itself, with its arts and its strength.
Burn to ash! Fall! Now! Let's go, everyone!
Leave this to me!
Sit!
Onward!
Alright, that's good.
Burn brightly!
Overdrive!
Witness the fruits of my training!
Alright, let's see how much of a difference this is against this one. Because the other one was 99,000. What are we gonna do here? It's probably gonna be less, isn't it? If this less, that means it monster is stronger.
My
It's
turn.
more. Ooh. Interesting.
Ha! My turn!
Alright, all for the delay.
Ha! Now's our chance!
An opening! Onward!
Do you want to build up back to 100 and do a slightly weaker form of our lion? Because even without the double attack, she still packs quite a punch.
Hey! They're off guard!
Got you!
Here I go.
Alright.
Here I go. Overdrive.
Alright, what kind of elementals are we gonna use against it? Ooh. This one does extra damage with this.
I'll handle it.
Perfect. Do we want to try to delay it as much as we can, or do we want to unleash her S-craft on this? I think I want to use this one.
You're finished. Full speed ahead.
Just because it's a really cool move, and yes, delaying helps, but I have a feeling we can take this one down before its turn. Because this is the one thing the overdrive really does, is insta-casting,
It's my turn.
which is a beautiful, frightful thing. Well, it's almost insta-casting.
Let's move.
Alright, Fatal Arc, 22,000.
It's my turn. Huh?
Onward! Shatter!
My turn.
Yeah, you're done. You're absolutely done. Alright, beautiful. The tactic still stands. I'm pretty sure at some point it will falter, but for now we take it.
That's that. Let's keep moving.
Defeated the Cryptid Nereid. Received Glimmering Star Gem. Alright, let's see what you have in store for us. Fire Time Earth. Seal 2, I think I can remember that. Accelerate. Attack twice in succession. Self. Manipulate space-time with the grill's power. 620. For him, it's all of it. Oh! All! So everyone gets accelerate? Interesting. Very interesting. I want to test this out in the next one. Because the thing is, like, if we can get this out before Laura, and she attacks twice in succession while her first move is for double the damage, does he do twice the double damage? Or is it done double damage and normal damage? Yeah, we have to try this out on the next one. It could be a bust, definitely, but Accelerate fits Fee perfectly, and she doesn't use magic for anything else, so sacrificing all her EP for that is more than welcomed, and she will always be one of the first to go. So yeah, okay, I see potential here, but not on Rean. And this is of course if Fee has the slots to carry in. Do you? Because I didn't see time. No, she doesn't have it. Would have been perfect for her. Because I think the other one that's fast enough is actually Rean. But I love my seal, even though I don't think seal works on the cryptids. So we could manipulate Rean in order to use that. Definitely. Even if it's just for a very friendly experimentation, isn't it? Alright, so next monster up I think will be the one in Lunaria Park. Like I said, I haven't seen it, but we've heard rumors that it's there. So that one or Roar will probably be the ones that is the next one in strength. I think the Isengard one is probably going to be one of the strongest, considering the area it's in, because it has one of the most strongest monsters there as well. So it just fits the build. Alright, just like before, we're going to prep, and when we're ready, we're going to see you in front of the cryptid. And as always, we're going to continue for as long as it seems plausible for us to do. So yeah, so see you at the next cryptid. Alright, prepped and ready to go for our third one. And this is the first time, well, technically on the way here I already saw him, but it is the first time we are at Lunaria Park looking at that cryptid. Because I'm assuming it's the cryptid, so yes. And it looks kind of weird, doesn't it? And yes, what are we about to do with this one? Well, like I said at the previous one, I want to experiment a little bit, which is a terrible idea to do with a boss like this. But why not? Worst case scenario, we die and we have to try it again. So let's just make sure we are ready for that. That if we die, we can just reload, so I don't need to recharge myself again. So let's get to it. And the plan is, I gave Rean the Glimmering Star Gem, and I want to see how that works. Does it work the way I think it does? Or doesn't it? Is it worth the EP? I don't know. There's only one way to find out, and that's to actually use it. And normally you should do that in a normal fight. But no, we're gonna do it in the scripted, so let's go. Oh, and it's allowed to go first.
This one looks really tough. Be careful.
What are you doing? Okay, that's not good.
Let's move.
I thought Rean was also hit by the sleep. Okay. Because it makes no sense to use the art right now, because I'm gonna assume that Accelerate is only for one turn and not for the entire fight. Because if it was for the entire fight, it would be too OP. Yeah, because that would be something you'd use at every boss if that's the case. Yeah, I didn't think this would happen, to be honest. I don't think Overdrive releases us from sleep, does it? And he doesn't have a attack that wakes up everyone or an ability. At least not yet. Stats down, I don't think it's things like sleep, I think it's more like speed and such. So it's not worth using. So do we just need to use some items then? Like I said, it wasn't even part of my train of thought that this would happen. I assumed that every cryptid had some kind of status abilities to give to our characters, but yeah, this is a slightly different, so Elliot would be the logical choice.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to change my team back to Fee.
Right.
Yeah, this is a messy. This is gonna be a messy fight already. It's fine. And why is he not close enough for the other two? Because Elliot is technically not part of the team, so he's not at the regular spot that hits everyone. Yeah, we have messed this up on so many different levels. Okay.
You have my thanks. Leave this to me. Burn brightly! Overdrive!
Alright, let's just do what we always do and see how far we can get.
Witness the fruits of my training!
Yeah, this is not going the way I was planning on doing. But let's be honest about this, I recorded the last two fights yesterday night, and this is like an entire night has gone in between, and I thought I had the characters all set up already to go ahead with the fight, and I totally forgot I didn't. Yeah, not the greatest thing, not yet. Alright, so let's see if we can work around this. Why am I not allowed to use this? Not possible during Overdrive. You didn't stipulate that in the tutorial, so I assumed we could. Damn you dastardly being. Alright.
Thank you very much.
My turn.
You're welcome. Alright, so we already have like a nice big old chunk away from him.
Now's our chance. Our time is now.
Let's just do what we can, because Emma and Elliot are still extremely powerful magic users, so
Here I go.
it's not like this is done by any means. Ooh, and water does extra damage.
Here I go.
Overdrive.
Same principle without delay, actually, what we're doing, that's basically it.
Now.
Because Emma, of course, is severely overpowered with her magical abilities. And Elliot, of course, is our second strongest magical user. That is the reason why I usually use him,
turn.
so... Let's go with Maelstrom.
Try this.
The max level of his Master Quartz.
Here.
Thanks.
It's my turn.
Okay, so we're not gonna take that down with Emma on the next move. And I gotta assume it's gonna use sleep once again, once we done this. And there's no way we can delay that thing. So, can we do this? At least the three of them are protected.
Oh, Moon, shield us from harm. Crescent shell.
No, that's nothing.
Right.
That absolutely is nothing. So let's go with normal attacks, which is fine.
Arcus activate.
Here I go.
Let's use it so we can at least have our test going. Damn, that's a beautiful art.
Here I go.
Okay, so we have no EP left, but we do have our own abilities.
Ha! Let's move. Ha! Now's our chance.
An opening. My turn. Sia!
So, how come they are not allowed to act twice in succession? I'm confused, because it clearly did the magic on all of them, right?
Here.
Thanks.
Here I go.
Or let's finish it off regardless.
Arcus activate. Let me help.
Thanks.
Unforgivable.
My turn. Ha!
It's my
Yeah, as
turn.
far as I've seen right now, it's a beautiful magic, but it actually only worked on one person, that's Rean, which makes it way too expensive for a normal use in a fight, unless I'm missing something. Which is perfectly understandable
This
that
should
that
help.
could happen, but let's see. Now, there are multiple fights we can try this, but the next cryptic fight, we're gonna go back to our standard loadout, I think. And let's hope the next one will not be as messy as this.
We should be safe now.
Defeated the cryptic Hydron. Divine Salvation Gem. so what are we able to do with this? Time-space mirage. Quartz containing the holy element lost to the ages. No. Right. All strength and ATS of 50% for 5 turns. Confused 200% effectiveness. Recreates God's battle bringing chaos. Ignores efficacy. So that means that it will always work. Am I reading that right? Again, very interesting. Maybe I'll test it out on the next one. Okay, so the next one I think is at the south end of Aurora. And shouldn't be too hard to get. Because like I said, I don't know if it's a cryptid, but again, it's a big monster. I saw when I was just walking around in the area looking for fishing spots. So, after some prepping, I'll see you there next. Alright, prepped and ready. We're almost at our next destination. And the tactic for this time, and yes, that does look like a cryptid, doesn't it? Is going to be testing out the new lost art, because 5 turns, 50% extra strength and magical attack. Yeah, I kind of want to see it. See if it works better than Accelerate, because so far Accelerate has not impressed. So I'm missing something, or it just doesn't work as well as it's advertised. Alright, so Rean's gonna use his move. Hopefully he will be before Laura. And I'm hoping that with Fee in the party, she's fast enough to start the fight before the cryptid. But we'll have to see. So, like before, quick save in front of it, just in case it's too strong for us.
Ha! Sit! Ha! 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 Ha!
Agnagarn.
Watch out! This is a tough one.
Yeah, they're all tough. And that's what it's supposed to be. Alright. Okay, same tactic as always.
Here goes. Overdrive.
Fee on delay duty. And our magical girl Emma, you just go ahead and give as best as you can. And of course we upgraded Bullet Cyclone to Bullet Cyclone number 2 with an even heftier delay, so...
1, 2...
Unless it's resistant to delays, it's gonna
And done.
help extra
Got it. Let's get this over with.
as well.
All right.
Leave it to me.
How about this?
Sit!
Damn, that sliver is really small.
It's my turn.
I think we just went up a notch in the cryptic scale. What do you have? Yeah, there's definitely a lot more than the previous one. Thank God. Emma's magic is enhanced. I still haven't enough damage to see his description. Still more than enough damage. Right. More Cyclone. So far it hasn't pushed it back, but
1, 2...
we didn't see the word resist, so I'm gonna assume it's gonna work and that his move after the first one is gonna be delayed significantly.
I'll back you up.
So basically we just have to survive the first hit.
My turn.
Nope, it's delayed. Perfect. Thank you very much. And now we can't use overdrive, because we learned that we cannot use it. Wait. Does it use it straight away? We'll see, we'll see.
Marcus, activate.
Onward!
Okay, well we still need to use hers straight away. If I use overdrive right now, would that cancel Rean's magic potential. Or will it go instantly? A little thing to test out, because I haven't tried it, or it's been so long that I did that I have forgotten about it. So let's try that out.
Burn brightly! Overdrive! Witness the fruits of my training!
Yes.
Howl! Radiant Lion!
Yeah!
Okay, so he's still allowed to cast. That's good. The Holy. Oh wait, it was downing his attack and magic attack. Still very good. Still very, very good. And it's a powerful attack as well. Okay, good to know. Because I assumed it was a status enhancer on our own character, so that's on my mistake. But it's more than fine.
Now's our chance!
Got you!
Here I go. Ah.
My turn. 1, 2.
Huh?
And done.
One
Now.
and done.
I'll back you up. Huh.
Bye-bye now. Alright. Perfect. Again, a nice little lost art, but it's not impressing me
We
in the
should be
slightest.
safe now.
It does look beautiful though. Defeated the cryptid Agnagarn. Received Searing Sun Gem. It sounds like it has something to do with fire, but this time is not something Rean will be able to use. Do you want to put this Soul Blur back? Because we gave it in first instant just to have a move to do if we only can use magic, but we also have Silver Thorns, so maybe something else? Been added a 2-point delay to it, to his moveset, which is technically not the bad thing. Ooh, speed and movement down. The strength increase is really nice though. Yeah, and this basically does the same thing as the Lost Art does, only cast on yourself. But since it only worked on myself, I have no idea. But I do like the additional speed we're gonna get for it. And why not? Might as well keep on trying things out. And having said that, Suzaku. Containing a sun element art lost to the ages. Soul Eruption. All defenses speed down for 50% with a burn 200%. So it's basically the same move as before, but just with different stats that will go down. No, I don't think we're even gonna have to use that. Alright, like before, we have, well, I know of one more cryptid, which I believe will be the strongest one. And I haven't found any others yet, so if there are any more cryptids than the next one we're going for, let me know in the comments and I will see if I can try that one as well. But the only one we have left, of course, is in the area I keep messing up the name of, which is Isengard.
Where do you want to go?
Isengard Range, yeah. I don't know why, but that name does not want to stick in my mind. It definitely doesn't. Alright, so
Full speed ahead!
I'm gonna prep, and I will see you in front of the next cryptid. Alright, there's the last one I know of. And I assume of all that we know, that's gotta be the strongest. He's in the one of the hardest areas we have. And just look at him, he looks amazing. Alright. Let's use the same tactic as before. And like I always say, if he's too strong for us, we can always go back a later time, but we're gonna keep on trying. Lindbaum, the fallen lizard.
This one looks dangerous. Be careful.
Here I go.
Ooh. He is fast, but we still got him at the moment.
Here goes. Overdrive.
Alright.
My turn. Now, let's go, everyone.
And as always, hoping that delay works. If not, the tactic still works all the same, because it's still a powerful way to go about it.
Witness the fruits of my training.
Alright, this will show us how strong he actually is. Definitely over 300,000. It has to.
Radiant Lion.
No, not her attack, but I mean the HP he has. 150. Oh, Jesus Christ, Laura, you're getting stronger by the day. A lizard cryptid, countless parasite spores on his body spread toxic gases that ravage its surroundings. So, poison? I don't know what it does, but we're gonna do our best to go against it.
Now.
An opening.
Okay, we're still good. We're still here.
Unforgivable.
We're still here.
I'll handle it. Here goes. Overdrive! 1, 2. Huh? And done.
Critical.
I'll back you up. Here I go.
Alright, you go back to your... Oh, wait, do you even check? Ooh, 140. That's gonna be interesting.
My turn. 1, 2. Huh? And done. Now.
I'll back you up.
Here we go. Now.
An opening.
It's my turn.
It definitely is.
Huh?
My turn. 1, 2. Huh? And done. Got it.
I'll back you up.
My turn.
Yeah, keep on delaying the inevitable.
Now!
Perfect. Nicely done. Yeah, I feel like we might have waited a little bit too long before doing the cryptids, but I'm glad we did it now.
Let's keep going.
Defeated the cryptid Lindbaum. Obtained Roaring Dragon Gem. Alright, what do you do? Earth, Water, Wind. Region 30 CP for 3 turns, CP 100. Roaring Dragons in the Earth Veins grant power. Okay, so basically what we're doing is instant recasting of your S-Craft. Alright, no problem whatsoever. Alright, so that's all the cryptids. I think this cryptid run episode, I think we made to a really nice completion by actually getting all the way to the end. Well, of all the cryptids that I know. And like I said before, if you know of any more, please do let me know in a comment and I will try to squeeze it in one of the other episodes, because if we can do all of these, if there is more of them, I'm pretty sure we will be able to use the same tactic on them as well and write it out too. So for now, I'm gonna leave the episode here. Next time we're gonna continue on with the main story. We're gonna start making our Tachi and maybe liberate Thors and after that, because I do believe that's gonna be the next step of the plan, because we are moving on to Heimdallr, and in between that there's one location, and that's Thors. So for now, I wish you all a great night, morning, day, wherever you are, and if you're still here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and be back next time as we continue on and making our divine weapon. See you then, bye bye.